Okay, sorry, we ran out of time. We had to fix that. But, so, Stephanie, you did the whole working mom for years and years and years. You worked at a factory.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're a stay-at-home mom. You have been since COVID started off and on a little bit.
Yep.
And then you're currently seeking employment.
Yep.
What is the difference? How do you feel like being a working mom or a stay-at-home mom? What is your...
I don't know. I enjoy both. I like being at home with the kids. I like the kids being home. Everybody's like, don't you wish school was
I'm the
there?
same.
Like, don't you want them in school? And it's like, no, not really. Like, I prefer them at home. Like, my kids aren't bad.
It's so much easier when they're home. Your kids are not bad. But...
So it's like, I like being home with them and making sure, like, their school's on point, make sure, like, everything's good. But then it's like, I need that adult time. And so I notice, like, when I go to the doctors, take them to their appointments or whatever, or dentist or whatever, that I start talking to the receptionist or the MAs longer than I should because, like, I'm seeking that interaction.
Yeah, I was going to say adult.
And it's like, and everybody else is either at work, school, or something like that. So it's like, all my friends are on night shift. So it's like, I'm sleeping while they're at work. I'm up while they're sleeping. So, I don't know, it's like a catch-22.
Right.
It's like I like being at home, but then again, I like that adult interaction. So you use work as
for sure
your escape.
I stayed home only during COVID when the restaurants were shut down.
Right.
And I'm somebody who I get depressed when I'm home for too long, like without my own. Like, Daniel doesn't tell me I can't have money or anything like that, but I need my own money, my own time, my own. Otherwise, I get depressed. But when my house is a mess and I feel like I can't keep up because I'm working and stuff, and then I get home and I have to make dinner and I have to do homework and I feel like that is a lot for me too. I don't like, so I can't find like that happy medium. I think that maybe eventually I need to cut back and do 4 days of working instead of 5 days of working.
I've thought about that too, like doing part-time just so I have me time.
Right.
And then not only having me time, but then still having my own independence. I think that was a big, like you said, like I was a single mom forever.
Right.
Up until I met my husband. So this last 5 years I had to adapt to working full-time, being a parent full-time, now being a step-parent. And then when I left my job this last February, it's like now I'm dealing with not having my own financial income.
Right.
So
and
now
you've never not had that before. You've always worked from the time we were young.
Yep. So that's where it's like now I need to adjust to that change as well. So I think like part-time would be great just to get my own independence back, because I think a lot of moms lose that independence either in a relationship or whatever, and then they're dependent on, required to deal with just kids all the time.
Right.
And so you lose that part of you.
For sure. For sure you lose that part of you. You have to figure out how to find that balance I can't find. So
like it's there.
Somewhere in a bottle of vodka. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not. Don't go drink vodka just because I said that. That's not how to parent. Sorry.
No,
sometimes it
that's
just
a hard
helps
day.
A little.
That's a hard day. Coffee works. Coffee is like mom's, I don't know if I could say crack or not, but it's like mom's to go.
Yeah, it helps a little. Alright. What about, let's see here. Okay. So how do the kids adjust to, they're staying home now, doing homeschool. They were publicly schooled.
Yep.
How are the big kids? The little kids are resilient. They bounce back.
They don't.
How are the big kids? Do they miss school, or are they cool with it?
So my oldest two, one's a freshman and one's 8th grade. They went to school this year.
Oh, cool.
Up until like while there's no mask, like my own personal feelings on mask are
sure.
I don't want my kids masked. If they're not sick, they don't need to be masked. And so my oldest was quarantined 3 times for coming in close contact with somebody. She went to school, sat at her desk. Apparently somebody had it, and she got quarantined 3 times. So I was like, dude, I'm done with this. Like, if she's been around it for 3 times already without a mask, neither kid had mask, and she didn't get it, what is the issue with my healthy child still attending school? I get some people are for that or whatever, like, it's safer, whatever.
I lied. I'd rather have one day.
But, so then when they implemented the mask mandate, they stayed home because it was only for like a week and a half. So I was like, you guys can get on Google Classroom, do your stuff. And they like it.
Cool.
Like they was like, Mom, seriously, like, what's going on? But they like the independence of, okay, I can do my assignments. I can get on, see what's going on, email, ask for help, whatever. And it hasn't affected their grades at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, my kids had a horrible time with it. They didn't understand it. I don't know if, like, it's for, like, each school has a different format or, like, I don't know how that all works, but I know that my kids had a rough time, and I had a rough time because I didn't understand it either. And some of the time I was still working, so I was, like, really counting on them to buckle down and do it.
They're kids.
And, yeah, they're kids. So I wasn't there to, like, give direction and hold people accountable. So then I had Mom go because I felt like I was failing them because I had no choice but to work, because it's not like I could just be like, I can't work today, my kids have school, because then the restaurant's counting on me, my kids are counting on me. And I have to say, side note, my job is super, super, super supportive, and if I would have said, my kids need me home, she would have figured out in a heartbeat how to make that happen. But I didn't want to put her in that situation. I didn't want to put my family in that situation of the financial burdenship either. Not really that my husband would kill me for saying that, because he always acts like that. I always act like he doesn't give me enough money, but he literally gives me all the money I ask for. And sometimes I, like, randomly tell him I buy big purchases, like I sent him this thing of this California king size nectar bed, and I was like, yeah, I just ordered this. And he's like, Amanda, no you didn't. And I was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, no, I just checked the bank account, there's not $2,000 whatever dollars out of the bank. And I was like, I don't care, it's payment pending, I just bought it.
Payment pending.
He's like, I took your debit card away, you didn't buy it. I said, I called and got a new one. So one time he was on vacation and I used our debit card like Swiper the Fox, and he told me I was going to melt it because I ran it so many times, and I lost it. I've been grounded from it ever since. But he gives me cash when I ask for it, so ladies, figure that out. But that was hard for me, the whole like getting in between school, and so my kids went back to school. I would love to be the mom to keep them home, but I needed them to be social and I needed to go to work. I like them better at home. It's less work for me, really, because I don't have to like get them ready for school and make sure that like I like summertime.
Oh.
Okay, sorry, I had to order food, so I paused you. What about having 9 kids do you dread? What's the one thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to take all of you? Just say it.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't take them all. like, is that bad? No.
That's not bad.
Like shopping anywhere. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
when's the last time you took all 9 of them to Walmart?
I don't. I'm not dumb.
Thanks, you too.
Like, I may have a lot of kids, but I'm not dumb.
I know.
Like,
so the Walmart pickup order is the best thing they've ever invented. So I don't have to take, because like the lady at the Walmart that my kid was cartwheeling, she didn't want to see my kids at Walmart. I understand that people don't want to see my kids. They don't want my kids flipping and flopping all over Walmart. But sometimes I feel like I have to teach them how to be in public and live in society too. So I have to take them to the store so they know how to act. So
I used to tell my kids that, like, be like, sorry, they're not public trained yet. Like, restaurants, dude, I hate going to restaurants with all the kids. Like, when we took our trip to Florida, and we went to, my husband's like, let's go out to eat. Let's go and do a nice dinner. Let's not cook one. Let's just go out to eat. I'm like, I guess. Like, all of us, or like you and me? And he's like, no, like the whole family. And I'm just like, dude, that's a lot of kids, and that's a lot, but whatever. So we ran to Red Robin. I was like,
did you go inside?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Like we went in. I was like, well, one, we're out of state. Nobody knows us here.
Right.
So that's good. Two, I will just let the waitresses know, sorry, we are public training them. So whatever happens, happens.
Right.
Like, I'm just, not there. So we ordered our food, and I am telling you, it took like 3 people to bring them all the food out. Like, and people are like, oh my goodness, like, look at this. And it's like, dude, there's 2 adults here and a whole slew of kids. Because when we went, we'd let our oldest bring a friend or whatever.
Right.
So there was more than just the 11 of us. So, you know, they're sliding tables together. They got all this trough of food everywhere. And of course it's Red Robin, so they're endless bottomless fries or whatever.
With 11,
Boys,
10 kids?
Yeah, they will take advantage of anything that's bottomless or endless, whether they're hungry or not. That reminds me of that time, remember when we were younger and we'd go to Ponderosa?
Yeah.
And then you would line your pockets with napkins and shove them.
Do you remember when you were pregnant with Kayla and we walked over to Ponderosa and you made us steal chicken wings?
You stole them.
I did,
Dude,
because you
I
wanted
was like,
me
dude,
to.
they sound so good and I can't eat no more, but I seriously want them. Yeah, that's my kids now. It's like they inherited that gene.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line. So anything that's bottomless, endless, whether they're hungry or not, they're for it. But I think that's my one thing that I dread the most is
Taking them out
taking
to
them out
restaurant.
to restaurants.
Daniel won't. He will sometimes, but he always he is boy there. He's like, you better act right in here. One person throws a fit, I'm getting up and getting out. You better not argue. We get in there, we got 30 seconds before the first argument starts, followed by a fight. By him yelling. By everybody feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're just gonna. I only got 4.
We're
so
public training. I mean, that's what I chalk it up to be. It's like, dude, you got to public train these kids one way or another.
One way or another.
And now that they are public trained, like, I go out to a restaurant or whatever, and we don't take them all. Like, the oldest will watch some, or some will just be like, dude, I'm not going.
Right. That's how
Like,
mine are.
sweet. So then, now I see other people's kids act out, and I'm not the one to sit there and be like, oh, like, this kid is annoying or whatever,
sure, yeah.
whatever, get your kid under control. Like, they're public training, I get it. But
I used
in the
to
same
though,
sense,
before
I'm
I
like,
had more than one kid, I used to judge that because I didn't understand
right.
it. But before that, I was like, why didn't they just get that kid up and take it to the bathroom and crack their hind end?
Right.
But now, I mean,
now you're just like,
been
you
there.
gotta public train, I get it.
I
But now I'm like,
had to grab mine up and give them a little come to Jesus moment right at the restaurant a couple times.
Yep.
So
yeah, now I'm just like, I'm just so glad that's not me. Like, I say that
progress.
more. I mean, even in the stores and stuff, I hear a kid freaking out. I'm like, dude, that kid is so not happy. I am so glad that is not me right now. Because
right.
about 95% of the time it would have been.
But sometimes it is about like discipline or controlling the situation. I don't want to say discipline. Let's control our situation and bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
So even though McCoy was cartwheeling down the aisles, she made sure it was aisle there was no people in until we made it out of the aisle, and that lady watched her. And if there would have been people down the aisle, I would have told her to be respectful. Like I said, one day I am going to record my kids in Walmart. I want Stephanie to record all 9 kids in Walmart.
Dude, I don't want to take all 9 kids. Good luck. The majority of them now are teenagers, so they're like, I'm not going unless I'm getting something.
We were talking about the kids, and I said I haven't seen the boys in forever, and she told me because they're
cave dwellers in my basement. Yeah, their rooms are downstairs, so like all the older kids are all downstairs, so they got their own TVs out in the living room out there. They got their TVs in their room. They fight over the Xbox, DVD players, whatever.
They wouldn't be kids if they weren't fighting.
Right. So yeah, I don't ever they come up when they're either hungry, and they have their own bathroom down there, so they come
you
up.
don't see them.
No. A lot of the times I'm like, where is he? Like,
Right.
where are they? And so then I'd have to go down and like yank him up and say, come get some sunlight, little fella. Like, you need to grow.
You might be a vampire.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. What's the one thing that you feel like, okay, I got this, I rock at this, like this is my mom moment?
Their education.
I know. I feel like that with you too. I'm like, I don't understand it.
That is my one thing that I want all of my kids to have is a good education.
Solid foundation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good grades. Maintain everything. If you need help, we'll get, we seek extra help. Like, and to me, it's like that's setting them up for
success in life.
Yeah. Like,
Jobs.
I don't want my kids living in my basement forever.
Right.
Like, I don't want them saying, Mom, I need money because I can't do this or this or this because I dropped out.
Right.
So it's like, and if it's hard, dude, life's hard.
Yeah,
like, and that's one lesson they're going to have to, like, you can't quit at school. You can't just say,
Because jobs are going to be hard too, guys. Like,
yeah. So that's one thing we definitely strive to do. And fortunately for the most of my kids, they took after me with the aspect of they don't really have to study before a test and they just do well.
Right.
It's just it sinks in. So we're lucky in that. But all my kids right now are A, B honor roll. Like,
that's awesome.
No struggle. But I mean, don't get me wrong, dude.
There's moments, right? We all have moments.
Like every other kid is like
that's what she was.
You have your good one, and then you have your, not that they're not all good.
Right.
So you have your easy child.
Yeah.
And then you have that one child that's got just a little bit of extra tenacity in her where they're just like, I'm gonna try this my way.
Yeah.
So there was a little struggle with a couple of them for a little bit, but we reeled that back in. And so education is definitely one that.
Yeah, that's your mom point. What's your what's your mom guilt? What's the thing that so mine is at my 2, I yell too much.
Mm-hmm.
I try to quit or I will be like, okay, I went a little too far when I said that. Or sometimes I don't say anything at all and I need to work on that. But my other mom guilt is where I lay down at night and I'm like, oh, I should have done this, or I wish I would have took more time to do this, or how come I don't have enough time? What's your mom guilt?
It's I think it's not even so much mine that I had personally, it's what's been projected onto me.
Sure.
I get the guilt of everybody's like, you don't have enough time for them.
But
you don't make enough
work.
You don't make enough time for each one. You have so many, so they don't get, adequate time. It's but if I really stop and think about it, it eats me up a lot.
I bet.
Should I have had that many? Does it affect them emotionally? Whatever. But in reality, it's after I really think about it, they have not only my attention, they got siblings' attention, so they get that social interaction from multiple people. So if they don't parents are always their kids' number one best friend.
Absolutely.
So now it's my kids don't have to like me.
I know.
I don't have to.
They can find somebody else.
We're kids and parents. My job as a parent is not to make my kid like me and be best friends. It's to raise them to be productive members of society.
Yep.
So if I tick them off, at least they have somebody to go vent to.
Right.
They have somebody to build that other relationship. And if anything awful happens to me, they're not alone.
Right.
So it's at the end of the day, after I hear all the negative comments, why, I had one person that is really, really bitter and she's calls me Octomom.
Shop.
Nope, that's serious. And so it's you have your children, I have mine doesn't affect yours.
Right.
So why should I feel ashamed that I have more?
Yeah.
And it's I have 7 of my own in 2-step. I'm not going to love them any less than I love mine. I'm not going to love mine any less than, whatever. So it's to me, that's my one guilt is I don't know if it was fair to them, but in the opposite effect, it's
right. I get that.
It does help them.
I get what how you could feel like that, but I have to say anytime I go over to your house or I'm around all your kids or there never seems like there's that many. Like, because you say 9 and it seems like, oh my gosh, 9's a lot of kids. And then you put my 4 on top of it and that's a lot of kids, right?
Right.
But they're like not right there. Like, or like, we went there for Kayla's graduation party and there was more kids than that. And I feel like it still wasn't like, your kids are respectful. They listen, they follow directions. Yeah, they have hiccups. Yeah, like any other kid. But really, like, you walk in their house and like, the kids go to the basement or like, this McCoy won't ever leave my side, so of course she's right there and she'll be like, didn't come do this or whatever. But it's never like, and I've said 100 times like, well, you were at my house the summer before last and you told the kids to get into the car and Colby was kind of like, I don't want to yet, but then you were like, no, I said, I didn't ask you what you want to do, I said get in the car.
Yeah, go.
And he like stopped for a second, he went and got in the car and I said, why do your kids listen so much better than mine? Like, at the time I had 3. I mean, I was pregnant. I said, I have 3 kids, and like, you have 9, and they just really went and got in the car. Like, how do you do that? And you're like, I have to run a tight ship. I have 9 kids.
Yeah, I have to run them. They can't run me.
Yeah, and
I'm outnumbered.
Yeah.
You can't show weakness.
No.
If you show weakness, then they know they got you.
They're gonna eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, my thing is if you want to have fun and you want to enjoy things and do things, then you have to listen. You have to do the things that are expected of you.
Right.
And you can't just run amok. You just can't. So that's kind of how we do. And like, even at the house, like you said, it's not loud. Like, I had a friend come over because our cat had kittens, and so she came over to grab the 2 kittens, and she was like, this is not what I expected.
Yeah, and I feel like
what are you talking about?
People
and they're like,
in their head,
she's like, I have the assumption 9 kids, like, in a house.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was going to be trashed. I thought it was going to be, like, your house is going to be a mess, and it was going to be so loud and chaotic, and she's like,
and I
really
think that's what people think. They're like, there has to be people everywhere with 9 kids, and there's not. It's just like, you walk and sit on her couch, and like,
you just hang out. Like, it doesn't matter if I have 2, 3, 9, like,
and like, as far as like, I feel like anytime I'm there, like, your kids, when they come up and tell you something, like, we'll be talking and like, you'll tell them, wait, don't interrupt, and then you'll turn around and listen to what they have to say, and you'll address whatever situation. If they wanted to tell you something, or if they wanted a question answered, you take that time to listen to them. I feel like I don't ever see you tell your kids, no, go on, or no, I'm like, you always take the time for each one of them individually as they come to you, or you take them. So with 9 kids, you still are always going to the lake, going to vacations, going here, going there. You got your camper, you're going, like, you're constantly, like, what a lot of people with just a couple kids don't do.
Right. Well, I want them to be able to experience things I never did. So, like, I mean, I went on trips, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, we'd go on a yearly trip or whatever, and then it kind of fizzled out. And so it's like, I want to build memories, obviously, with the kids. I want to give them experiences. Like, you know, we take our trips to Florida. Michaela's been in a helicopter. Like, it was always fun for me. Like I said, I want to do all the modes of transportation. I want my kids to experience all of them.
Sure.
Like, because to me, that's fun. Like, okay, so I've been on a plane. We've been on Kayla and Jordan's been on a helicopter. Natalie and Kayla's been on a cruise ship. Like, they've been on the regular trains, city buses, stuff like that. Like, I want them to experience things so that way they're not closed-minded to the world. Like, there's more to this world
than this little town.
Yep. And I want them to explore and see new things and not be scared to take the world on. Like, I think that's my biggest thing. Like, growing up, I only had my brother, and him and I didn't see eye to eye because he was doing his own thing, and most of the time it wasn't positive. So it's like, I got pushed back, and it's like, I don't want my kids to experience that same thing. Like, they still have to have attention. They still have to be able to do all these things, but understand that this is the way the world works. Like, you can't interrupt people when they're talking. That's rude. So you do have to wait your turn, and that's fine. That's not being rude to say, okay, hold on, you're interrupting. Like, I want them to know how to be humble and still enjoy things in life.
For sure. And I'm an interrupter. I try not to be.
I mean, I am too.
I get like something, I gotta say it right then, and I try to work on that, but I suck at that. So that's one of my biggest
I think
personal downfalls. Not only as a mom, like my personal downfalls is like I will so get excited and tell you something like right now.
Oh yeah.
When I shouldn't. I need to hold that in a little bit. So that is something that we should teach our littles.
Yeah.
Or bigs.
Like I always try to practice what I preach. I hate the do as I say, not as I do. Because what's that really teaching them?
Right.
That when I'm an adult, I can do whatever I want and I can make whoever do whatever I want them to do. It's like, no, you need to lead by example. So
right.
I try to instill that. Granted, my mouth, I'm like, no.
I know.
We can't say those words until you are 18 or older. I was like, this is not okay. Because I have a couple littles that are like,
yeah, trying to
not
say
good.
it because mom says it.
Yep.
I have that.
Yeah, I think I've heard a few.
McCoy lets him slide.
Dude.
I'm like, McCoy. She'll say.
She says I'm on point, though.
Yeah, she says.
Like, she
Peyton
knows.
says it. I'm like, I don't let Peyton say it. She just says it.
Like we can't.
Yeah. I can't just let you sit here and cuss me. Thanks, but have a great day.
Right.
She actually showed me an ICP song that made me gasp for
no.
air. I couldn't believe she knew it. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. But
where did you find that? Mom, they're on your greatest hits.
No,
like, I don't know.
they're on your playlist, Mom. I heard it. You thumbs it up. I did not. I didn't even know the song until my 7-year-old showed it to me, and then I was like, "What in the world did we just listen to? And where did you find this?"
I think that's what makes parenting even harder nowadays too. Is that there's social media, there's YouTube, and the stuff that's on there is just insane.
Insane. And I have my stuff. Everything on my phone is on restricted mode. When my daughter has it, when McCoy has it. But she also has older siblings. So, like, they'll talk about stuff in front of her, and I try to, like, tell them, like, you have to understand she's only 7. So, like, even though you're 15 and you're talking with your 15-year-old friends, you still have a 7-year-old present in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're 12 and 15 is my oldest too. And then they'll start laughing and joking and say something, well, I saw this or I saw that. And then I don't know how, I tell them repeatedly, like, we have to remember she's only 7, we have to remember she's only 7. And she's a snitch. So she's going to come and tell me what you're saying or doing. So let's just remember she's only 7. And let's not do that anyways. Like, if you're doing something she's going to come and snitch on you about,
let's
just don't do it.
Right. Yeah, we have a few of those.
Snitches?
Thank goodness. Yes. I love them.
Me too.
Like, I remember growing up, they're like, don't snitch. And it's like, no, do it. Like, be that person.
For sure.
Because now you're correcting them, and I know that you won't follow suit.
Right.
So, yeah, I like snitches now. It's very beneficial.
So my brothers were a lot older than me. Yours was a little older than you. And it exposed us to things at a younger age that we shouldn't have been exposed to. But I hope that our kids will not do that. I don't know. Not expose
I think they
them to the
will.
situation. I do too.
I think they will, just because I think that's
how it happens. I worry mostly about Berkeley because she's so much younger. Like, so Michaela is a saint, so Michaela wouldn't expose him to anything. We got a little natty Nat that
she's
wild sometimes.
That's
my husband's favorite. She's really mouthy.
I don't know, like, so she's but she's opinionated, but she will tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, she just came home the other day and she was like, this was like a couple of weeks ago, and she goes, Mom, there's this girl at school and she emails everybody because she doesn't have a phone. I'm like, so?
Right.
Like, say, hey. She's like, no, Mom, like, you don't get it. And, like, she'll come in there into class, and then she'd, like, put her laptop on my desk and was, like, charging it. I was like, does she have, like, her own desk? And she was like, yeah, like, I don't get it. Like, she just put it on my desk and was charging it. I was like, did you ask her to, like, I don't know, like, please move your laptop? She's like, yeah, I looked at her and said, this isn't your desk. I go, Natalie, Like, you gotta say it nicer. And she goes, the teacher was right there, Mom. I'm like, oh my God, kid.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
So you gotta be polite though now. And she goes, I told her to move it. I was like, did you say please? No.
That's not our Nat. She's gonna tell you.
She told this girl, like I'm against bullying. 150%. And I was like, she's like, Mom, she just doesn't stop emailing me. I go, maybe she just needs a friend.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, no, Mom, she emails everybody. And she tells me that, I ask her, can you please stop blowing me up on my email, please? Because it's her school email. And I get it. Like,
okay.
I don't use your school email, especially if you didn't give it to her. Like, she just got it. And she was like, I told her, stop messaging me, please. And she didn't. I go, crap. So then she was like, I go, just email her and say, can you please stop? I don't want to communicate with you through email. She goes, Mom, I went back to school the next day and she put her Chromebook back on my desk. Like, it's a thing. Like, this girl is either testing Natalie's limits.
Yeah.
Or
that's too much.
It's bad. But she's working on her etiquette on communication.
So she's trying not to tell her.
Oh, dude. She's my
Natalie.
Yeah.
You're me.
Oh, it's so bad.
I
know.
She got one more time. 3 strikes, sister. We're gonna have to just move your laptop for you.
I was like, that teacher didn't say anything, Natalie. Like, use him as you're out. He's like, no. He just let me say it. I was like, he's encouraging this behavior.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
maybe the teacher feels, so sometimes teachers are humans too. Maybe that teacher feels like maybe that kid needs to just be
tough
told.
Love.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because when I go in for conferences, like it really truly is every other kid. Like, you have a good one where God's like, dude, I will bless you with this great baby. Not that they're not all great. And then I will give you another one that just has a little more spunk just to see if you can handle it.
Right.
Because God never gives you more than you can handle. He clearly didn't spend enough time with Natalie. Because
that's my Berkeley.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, this morning, she stinking wouldn't quit crying, wouldn't quit letting me hold her, and I gave her CoComelon because I'm the mom that just gives her my phone with CoComelon. I'm sorry, sometimes I need a break. You can judge me, but we're here to not judge each other and to understand we all parent differently, and that's how I had to handle a situation sometimes with Berkeley. CoComelon. I don't even like CoComelon. I got in the car, Stephanie put my phone on CoComelon because I told her, and it was going through my speakers, and I'm like, okay, we got to take the Bluetooth off.
Dude, I know every one of those songs. It used to be my jam. Like the Rain, Rain, Go Away song, dude. We played it.
Oh, man, yeah. So I gave her my phone, and I took her to my grandma and aunts because I needed a break. Don't tell anybody. You can tell everybody. She wouldn't quit crying. She wouldn't quit hanging on me. When I was leaving, she was ripping my shirt to try to get me to stay, and she was screaming. And I said, I'm really sorry. I'll be back in a couple hours because I have to do my dishes. Because last night before I went to bed, I didn't do them, and my house is tore to the ground. And that's part of why after we did our run, and we just stayed in the car rode around for this video because I'm not showing you my house right now. Stephanie and my family will be the only people who see that before I finish it. Because she has 9 kids and her house is still clean. I don't understand it. She come in, she said, why don't you make these kids do something? I said, they bought a $50 video game themselves because they chose to spend their own money instead of helping me. That is for real. That is the God honest truth that they wanted to spend I said, what are you going to do around the house if I buy you this video game? They said, we figured we would just split the cost. Well played, children. Well played. I don't like you.
Right. See, I
do
food.
Like them, so.
Yeah, no, I buy food. Because the way through my kids I've learned is through food.
Oh,
dude, I got one that loves these Takis and hot Cheetos and stuff. And then I got another one that loves Pringles. So I buy it.
Yeah.
And my kids don't.
With dude, that's what I should do.
I do. Like, so they don't ask, or they have to ask for food. Because, one, they didn't buy it.
Yeah.
2, they don't know what I'm using what for dinners. So if you want to eat, you better leave my food alone. If you're hungry, ask, and I will say, okay, this is free for all.
Right.
Chips are not a free for all.
You gotta work for chips. I need to get better at
we
this.
got a box. Like, my dad would take us shopping at, like, Costco and stuff, and he would buy a box of Flamin' Hot stuff, like Funyuns, Cheetos, all of it.
Right. That's
Natalie,
what we need to do.
They've seen it now. They're on to my game. They're like, what do you want done for that? Like, it's not even, can I have one now? It's, what do you want for that?
I should have learned that years
and
ago.
I'm like, well, the bathroom needs clean, the laundry needs done, or, you know, the dishes. Like, what are you willing to do for it?
Right.
Dude, video games for the boys? Oh, easy.
That wasn't easy
these
for
little
me. They
packs,
brought money.
No, these ones want money, but it's in, I don't know, Minecraft crap or something, or Roblox or something, or some kind of suit thing for, what is that other shooting one, or Fortnite,
yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, what can I do for like $5? What can I do for $10? What can I do for $20? I was like, that chicken coop needs cleaned out. He's like, bet. Okay. And then they fight over it.
Who's going to get the money? Who's
going to do the chores? So then they get, oh, dude, it's food.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, food. It's where it's at.
I need to work on this. Yep. I'm like, every day, I'm like, we're going to sit down and talk about how we're going to start helping Mom.
Yeah, we tried that. And I tried the chore chart thing.
Yeah, I have a chore chart on my fridge right now. It's been there for like 6 months.
A lot of people are like,
5 hearts. McCoy puts the stickers on hers all the time. She's like, I picked up my dinner plate. Can I have a star? Sure.
Whatever.
I don't care. She's like, Dad, I filled up my star things. Can we all go on a trip now? He's like, no. Talk to your sisters and fill them up theirs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've tried the money jar too, like where, you know, they get an allowance, and then when the week's over or whatever, we can go spend it. And I thought about doing like the store where they get their fake money.
Yeah.
And then you have like a bin, and they can choose and spend their money on each item or whatever.
Yeah. Katie wants to do that system thing.
It seems like it's a lot more work.
That's what I was thinking. And then I have to worry about where you guys are putting this money because they're going to lose it.
Right. And then they're going to be like, well, I earned that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
McCoy stole my $5 for the bin.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah. You should take care of it.
Yeah. I wish I was more.
I just need to be more organized.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I was more like, okay, so this is what we're implementing. Now I want to follow through with it. Because I suck at follow through. Like,
one thing that people ask me when I tell them that you have 9 kids, does she drive a bus? She doesn't drive a bus, you guys.
Dude, I want one.
If
you
everywhere.
Know one,
she wants one.
Dude, I want
so
like
bad.
one of those little city buses where you can open the door.
Yeah,
dude, I do. I want
or
like a
conversion van.
No, I don't want a conversion van. I want the ones with all the windows,
I want,
so everybody can have
like with the pockets in the top, so you can tuck stuff away.
See, I'd be scared to drive that.
But you want a city bus where you swing?
Not like a big, huge city bus. Like one of those like
wheels on the bus when you're driving.
Dude, if it had like a microphone,
no,
I totally would.
I know.
Like a speaker, dude. I could play, dude.
We could go out and take it out.
Like a party bus. You know, like
so
the
if you
want to
donate her a city bus,
I'll take it, and I will make great use of it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But that's something people ask me, like when I tell them, they're like, "Does she drive?" Oh. And if you can't notice, she's really skinny. So
I'm
that's
not. Like, look at this double chin thing I got.
Shut up.
It's bad.
No.
Oh, it's rough.
She's so skinny.
It's so rough.
And people they're like, "Oh, you've had how many kids?" You don't look
I do
like
get
it.
that a lot.
Why? Why would you say that? What are you supposed to look like when you had that many kids?
Be
supposed to be fat? Yeah.
Like,
well, there's another stereotype for you.
Yeah, that is a good one because I hear that a lot. Like, no, you don't have that many kids. Like, how many are actually yours? I'm like, well, 7. They're like, what? I was like,
she baked them all in her tummy
for a long time, and the last 2 really messed me up. So, like, I didn't snap back like the last 2 or the last 5, but no, that is a one that I get quite a bit.
Yeah,
like, you don't
I was
look
trying
like
to think
it.
of like other things that people say to you all the time, like the awkward things that people shouldn't say that they do. We've said a few of them, but that's funny.
Yeah. Do you drive a bus, dude? If I could, I would.
She wants to.
I could make, dude, that'd be so much, that'd be fun. Like, cause I may have a lot of kids, but I'm not old.
I know.
So it's like, dude, I could rock that out.
Right.
For sure. Everybody's like, when I was younger, I remember I was like, I will never drive a minivan. Do you know how convenient those things are?
I know.
Like, especially with the buttons and they open the doors by themselves.
My old van, I miss it. So, and a couple of people that I'm friends with just got minivans, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. But my my husband bought me a Buick. I'm really, really thankful for it. It's paid off. I don't have a payment on it. I'm thankful for that. I miss my van. My husband said I drive too fast on the dirt roads to have a van because I tear out the front end on them. So that's the truth on why I don't drive a van, because my husband said if I'm buying you something, buying you a new vehicle, then you're not having a van. You can pick out something in the middle, because he wanted me to get like a Tahoe or a Suburban or something like that was a little more sturdy. And he said that we could get an SUV, be somewhere in the middle of what he wants me to have and what I want. So, I have my Buick, and I love it. I'm thankful for it. I don't want nobody to think I'm complaining, but I do. I'm jealous of the moms with vans, especially.
Dude, the storage. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, stow and go. The button push stow and go. They just
Yeah,
and they're gone. But you just fit a house back there after that point.
Dude, like a playhouse.
Yeah.
Like
you go get groceries, and I go pick up my groceries. Or I go grocery shopping, but I spend a lot of money when I go grocery shopping because I end up buying clothes and stuff. But when I go pick up my groceries, I just pop the back hatch and it opens and they throw it in. But I have to get out sometimes if I have a lot, like bottled water and stuff, and push the back seat down. So I would really like the van that just does it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't go everywhere together for the most part, like only on trips, like vacations and stuff. So, I mean, having two vehicles isn't terrible. My oldest is driving, so she does her own thing. But, so, it's not terrible that I don't have the little 12-passenger, 15-passenger bus that I want. But it would make it more convenient, like when we go camping and stuff, to take one vehicle.
Nice, yeah. Throw some kids in the camper.
That's what they said. They're like, well, can we just ride in the camper? I was like... No.
It's not a safe choice.
No, you can't. It's like a small earthquake back there right here. You're not able to do that. Like before, we used to ride in the back of trucks all the time. It's like, I wish we could still do that.
For sure.
I mean, I don't know if I'd trust my kids back there the way that we were given that trust.
I don't know. Yeah, they just tossed us back there and we went for a ride. I mean...
Yeah. Like, they weren't even concerned if we'd jump out. Like...
Sit in the middle. So we'd sit on the little, like...
The seat, like the tire rim?
Yeah, we'd call that the seat. Like, we'd fight over the seat on this side, or I'm sitting on that side. It was the tire thing that we called the seat, and we would leave, like, the mill pond. We were all wet. They'd throw us in the back of that, and we'd just fit over the seats, so...
Yeah. Well, nowadays they got, like, parkour and crap that these kids watch. It's like...
They're liable to jump off.
I don't need my kid parkouring out of the back of a moving vehicle.
Oh, man. Well, all right. We've exceeded our time. This is the last part to our 2-part video now. Thank you all for listening. Remember to support each other. Thanks, Stephanie, for coming.
Absolutely.
Stephanie's going to be a big part of this thing that we have moving forward. I almost canceled it today because I was starting to get my nerves and anxiety get the best of me, and then my morning was off to a rough start, and Berkeley kept crying, and then she called me, and she's like, I'm on my way to your house, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you're 20 minutes early, you have 9 kids, what are you doing? I have 4, I'm about to drown over here, nobody cares. You gave me a deflated life jacket. That's okay, though.
That's okay.
I swam back up to the top. Yeah, she saved me. She was like, never freaked out. I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this kid won't quit crying. And I'm like, sitting her there, and she was like, I want candy. I'm like, sure, I have made you eggs, have candy.
Whatever gets you through the day. Dude, I'm telling you, motherhood's not like, they don't have a book, and I think that's why.
Yeah, I think that's why.
You have to do it just go with the flow.
Do it your way.
Whatever makes it easy that day.
So she rode with me to go drop my kid off. And so then we rode around and talked, and now I'm going to clean my house. And she's going to go about the rest of her busy day because she has a crazy busy day. Before we totally leave, what does it look like making dinner for you guys? How many pounds of meat do you go through? Is it like a big, I spend so much money on groceries.
If we do hamburger, it's like the big package.
What about
I don't know,
spaghetti?
Like 2 or 3. See, bag of meatballs, noodles, sauce. no meat.
Just one box of noodles, like the big box, or
Um,
a regular box?
Like,
I want to record you making dinner one time for all these kids.
dude, we
Do you-
can. Dude, I'm scared for when they start leaving. Because
'Cause
I don't
you're
know
gonna
how
overproportion
I don't know
everything,
how
aren't
to
you?
go small.
Yeah.
So like when we cook, it's like always like the casserole dish is like the big one, like the pot. Like we made potato soup last night, and we got like the big fucking or freaking 5 course.
I
There
told
it goes.
you.
That's one.
We got one.
So it's like we have to use the big pot. So yeah, that's my one thing I'm scared of. But yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one day. We're gonna
Record dinner.
Stephanie cooking for 9. Sometimes I cook like I'm making for 9, and I'm not. I don't know why that is, but
Like I'm
we have
hoping for
leftovers.
leftovers
Yeah,
to make
we
my
have
next day easy,
leftovers.
but they eat it all. I got teenagers, dude. Like
just
I've
keep
realized that
Do you play out the little 4s, or do they play their own?
I played out them.
Just the little 4 or all of them? She has a little bit of control
little
issues
4
too, so I don't know.
Yeah, the little 4.
Peyton just texted me, "Hey, do you want a lab puppy?"
Why did it say Peter?
Okay. Because
I'm like, that didn't say
we
Peyton.
call Peyton Peter Pan. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Or
I'm like,
Princess P, because she never does any wrong in her dad's eyes, which is fine. She has my mouth, so sometimes when 2 people have to have the last word, we go at it. We call her Peter Pan because when Peyton was little, she was afraid of her own shadow, so she had Peter Pan syndrome. She was constantly
Aw,
chasing her
that's
shadow
cute.
or running from her shadow, and so then she became Peter Pan. She was afraid of everything.
I'm like,
And
that said Peter. And you go, yeah, Peyton wants a puppy. I'm like, wait a minute.
Side yeah.
Awesome.
So, I'm probably not getting a lab puppy. I do want a puppy soon. My kids know that, but I don't want a big puppy this
oh
time.
my goodness.
I kind of want a staffy bull.
Right? Yeah, we're in the puppy stage right now. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm scared of dogs too, just so everybody, like, big dogs make me want to pass out if they bark at me, so.
And I have 2 of them.
I know. So that's why I don't come over a lot, but you already know that. We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, scares me. Come over to my house every day and teach my kids how to help me pick up.
See, that's what my nieces and nephews say is like it's Aunt Steffi boot camp.
Yeah.
I'm like,
For real.
you're going to either have respect or you're going to not enjoy the consequences of those decisions.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Stephanie's got to get going. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. I'll pop on here sometime again throughout the week. Next week, we have a big video. I'm hoping to... I already talked to one of the moms. Stephanie's going to be a part of it, as long as, like, her work schedule, if she gets this job, will allow her to. We're going to talk about moms that use cannabis for medical treatment or for whatever they want to talk about with it. And we have one mom for sure. Might have a second mom that is interested in it. I hope that we do. We did have another mom have something come up that was supposed to be with us today. So, I don't know. Stay tuned. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. I don't really know what else to say, but have a
Have a great day.